A group of young girls are dancing in the woods, just dancing, but someone sees them. Within 24 hours, 3 people are accused of witchcraft. Within 2 months, 20 people are hanged. Within 1 year, Salem goes mad. But the truth is, there are no witches. There never were. There is only lies. There is fear. And there are people. Arthur Miller wrote this play in 1953. It tells the story of Salem in 1692, but it actually tells the story of America in 1950. McCarthy, the communist hunt, the witch hunt. Today is 2025, and we are still hunting witches. Only the names have changed. The Crucible. Everyone burns in the cauldron, the innocent and the guilty alike. Let's begin. Salem, 1692. A Puritan community. Fear of God, fear of sin, fear of hell. Reverend Parris's daughter, Betty, falls ill. She sleeps but does not wake, like a coma. Why? Because last night they were dancing in the woods. Abigail Williams, Parris's niece, Betty, and the other girls danced in the woods with Tituba, a slave from the Caribbean. Tituba cast a spell on them. They summoned the devil. At least that's how it appears. What's the truth? They just danced. Maybe they sang. Maybe they had fun. But in Puritan society, dancing is sin. Music is sin. Fun is sin. And now they've been caught. Parris panics. If they say my daughter is a witch, they'll kick me out. Abigail is scared because she didn't just dance. She had an affair with John Proctor, a married man. And now John's wife, Elizabeth Proctor, has kicked him out of the house. Abigail wants revenge. The townspeople hear Parris's daughter is a witch. They go crazy. There are witches. The devil is among us. Reverend Hale arrives, witch expert. He brings books. I will find the witches. Do you know what Betty and Abigail are doing? They confess. Yes, we saw the devil. We danced with witches. But the real shock, they name names. Sarah Good is a witch. Sarah Osborne is a witch. Tituba is a witch. Why do they confess? Because if you confess, you live. If you deny, you die. Tituba, a slave, is scared. She confesses, yes, I worked with the devil, but there are others too. Abigail sees, this works. And she starts. Rebecca Nurse is a witch. Martha Corey is a witch. Elizabeth Proctor is a witch. 8 weeks later, Salem is in a frenzy. Over 30 people have been accused of witchcraft. In jail, in court, John Proctor sits at home with his wife Elizabeth, silent, tense. Why tense? Because John confessed to sleeping with Abigail. Elizabeth hasn't forgiven him. Not yet. Mary Warren, their servant, is coming from court, now a court official, and she gives Elizabeth a puppet. I made it in court today. A gift. That night, Cheever, the court clerk, arrives. An arrest warrant for Elizabeth Proctor. Why? Because Abigail Williams was stabbed in the stomach that night, and she says, Elizabeth Proctor's spirit stabbed me. The evidence? There is a needle in the doll Mary Warren gave her, in the same place. John shouts, this is nonsense. Abigail is lying. But no one listens. Elizabeth is taken away in chains. John realizes Abigail planned this. She had Mary Warren make the doll. She stabbed herself. She had Elizabeth declared a witch. Why? Because if Elizabeth dies, John will be free, and Abigail can take him back. John takes Mary Warren to court. You will tell the truth. You will say Abigail is lying. Mary cries. If I do, they'll hang me. John. If you don't, they'll hang my wife. Courtroom scene. Judge Danforth, cold, stern. I am not mistaken. John Proctor enters. The girls are lying. I have proof. 91 people have signed. Elizabeth Proctor is a good woman. She is not a witch. Danforth. Are 91 people defying the court? He will interrogate them all. John tries another approach. Abigail is a whore. She slept with me. She's taking revenge on Elizabeth. Danforth is shocked. Prove it. John. Bring my wife. She won't lie. Ask her. Elizabeth is brought in. Danforth asks, did your husband sleep with Abigail? Elizabeth looks. She sees John, And for the first time in her life, she lies. No, your husband is faithful. Why does she lie? To protect John, to save him from shame, but this lie ruins everything. Danforth. So your husband lies. Elizabeth Proctor is honest. John Proctor is a liar. Mary Warren collapses. The girls attack her. Mary is a witch. She works with the devil. Mary screams, cries, and finally, yes, John Proctor works with the devil. He forced me. John is arrested for adultery, for witchcraft. Danforth wins. Abigail wins. Truth loses. 3 months later, Salem jail. 19 people hanged. John Proctor is still in the dungeon. Elizabeth too. But Elizabeth is pregnant. She won't be hanged until the baby is born. John will be hanged. Today. Tomorrow. Soon. Reverend Hale has arrived. He is now remorseful. I made a mistake. These are not witches. But Danforth won't listen. Confess. Stay alive. Reverend Parris is also afraid. Abigail escaped. She stole money from the safe. She's gone, and the town will rebel. If we hang John Proctor, the people will attack us. Danforth is adamant. I have a life. We've hanged 19 people. We can't stop now. Otherwise, they'll say the 19 were innocent. Danforth sends Elizabeth to John. Tell your husband. Let him confess. Let him live. Elizabeth and John meet for the first time in months. John. Forgive me. Elizabeth. Forgive yourself. It's not your fault. John. What should I do? Should I confess and live? Should I deny it and die? Elizabeth. I can't tell you. You choose. John chooses. He confesses. Yes, I am a witch. I worked with the devil. Danforth joyfully. Sign it. They write the confession on paper. John signs it, but Danforth says, we will hang this confession on the church door. Everyone will see it. John stops. No, my confession is mine. You cannot hang it on the church. Danforth. It must be hung. Everyone must know. John. My name is mine. You cannot make me a liar. My name. And he tears up the confession. Hang me, but you will not take my name. Danforth. Then you will be hanged. John. Hang me. Elizabeth is crying. She begs him, live. But John is determined. His final words. My name is clean. I will not sell my signature. I have a name. There will be no other name. John Proctor is hanged. Rebecca Nurse is hanged. Martha Corey is hanged. A total of 20 people, all innocent, none of them witches. But they are hanged because they do not confess. Arthur Miller wrote this play in 1953, but it wasn't about Salem in 1692. It was about America in 1950, the 1950s, the McCarthy era, the communist witch hunt. Senator Joseph McCarthy says, there are communists among us, in the government, in Hollywood, in everyone. And it begins. Names are demanded. Are you a communist? No. Well, who is? Name names. If you don't, you lose your job, you get blacklisted, your life is over. If you do, you betray your friend, but you live. Salem, 1692. Witch hunt. Are you a witch? Name names or be hanged. America, 1950. Communist hunt. Are you a communist? Name names or your career is over. Arthur Miller was summoned to HUAC, House Un-American Activities Committee. They asked, were you a communist? Who was a communist? Name names. Miller, no, I will not name names. And he was convicted, blacklisted, but he had written the Crucible. He had delivered his message. Miller's message. When fear rules society, innocence becomes irrelevant. Confess or die. Name names or be finished. But what did John Proctor do? He denied it. He was hanged, but he kept his name. It's 2025. Is Salem 1692 far away? Is McCarthy 1950 in the past? No. We don't hunt witches today, but we cancel. Someone is accused on Twitter. This person is racist. Evidence? None. But 10,000 people retweeted it, so it must be true. They lose their job, their career is over, their life is ruined. Puritan Salem. She's a dancing witch. Modern Twitter. The tweeter is racist. Is there a difference? Salem, 1692. Fear plus lies plus accusations equals 20. Dead McCarthy 1950. Fear plus lies plus accusations equals thousands unemployed. Cancel culture 2025. Fear plus lies plus accusations equals. The Crucible's question still stands. Confess or deny. Lie and live. Or tell the truth and die. John Proctor chose, my name matters. My reputation matters. I'd rather die telling the truth than live lying. The Crucible. Arthur Miller. 1953. The story of Salem. The story of McCarthy. The story of today. 20 innocent people were hanged just because they wouldn't confess. Thousands lost their careers just because they didn't name names. How many people are being canceled today? Just for a tweet. Miller taught us this. The crowd is not always right. Fear is not always real. Accusation, is not always true. John Proctor's last words. I have a name. There will be no other. What would you do? Would you confess? Would you live? Or would you protect your name? The Crucible asks you this for 70 years, and the answer is still difficult. Read it, watch it, think about it, because tomorrow you could be in the cauldron. Have you read The Crucible? Have you watched it? If you were John Proctor, what would you do? Confess or deny? Write in the comments. Let's discuss. And subscribe. Classic literature isn't just the past. It's a mirror of today. See you in the next video. Read, question, live.